Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today's Doctor Who review is none other than 4 to Doomsday. So, what is 4 to Doomsday about? Well, 4 to Doomsday is a very interesting story, to be fair. There are these creatures called monarch. A monarch was a species that came to Earth a very, very long time ago. And when the Doctor meets them at first, he believes them to be gracious guests who have actually gone to Earth just to advance the civilization and help them to become better beings in the universe. However, the Doctor soon learns that the ages of the people on the ship doesn't quite make sense. Monarch claims that it has taken the human race from many different centuries, and yet all of them are way too old to still be alive. The Doctor soon discovers it's because they're not alive, they are just replicas of the original person. They have the memories and the culture and everything about that, but in turn, they aren't actually who they seem to be. One of the duplicates then basically tells the Doctor the fact that Monarch doesn't want to go back to Earth to essentially help the human race. They want to go back to claim them. In a way, this is a very similar plot to the android invasion, except this time the androids are being controlled by a kind of green-looking slug creature. However, the Doctor has two problems, not only that Monarch wants to take over the world, but he also finds himself in a position in which Tegan keeps going back to the TARDIS to try and use the controls. The Doctor then thinks that when Tegan first brings up the kind of conspiracy to him, he at first thinks it's just her attempt to try and get taken back to Earth. However, it turns out that Tegan is telling the truth, and that Monarch has a very vicious plan. The Doctor aims to destroy this plan and overthrow Monarch, and to do this, he uses the ploy of the fact that they keep using people to do their kind of special traditional dances. The Doctor uses tribes and performance to do a cloak and dagger routine, and then manages to shrink Monarch down so that they can't harm anyone. He then gives over the control of the ship to the duplicates and points out to them if they ever want to go back to Earth, they can do so. But they all point out, the ones that haven't been duplicated, the fact that they don't want to go back. It's too late for them. They don't remember the Earth as it once was, and they believe that their home is now in space. And so they fly off into space, and the Doctor goes off for another adventure in time and space. So, what did I think of 4 to Doomsday? Honestly, I really think this plot is very interesting. There's always these kind of conspiracy theories out there about aliens coming to Earth, and I like that Doctor Who likes to push the boundary with these. I mean, for instance, this isn't the first time we've heard of Travellers in the Stars. We've had things in Dinosaur Invasion and a lot of other stories in which the Doctor discovers a bunch of humans that have gone off into the ventures of space. However, I like the fact that in this, Monarch are really sinister. I mean, they literally spend half the episode turning themselves to look like human beings to try and trick the Doctor and Tegan into essentially being coerced into their ways. I also like the unsettling bit of how Tegan can't see past the fact that they've basically just copied her designs off of a piece of paper. She finds this a little bit cruel, as even though they may be doing it out of a jest, it kind of implies that they really, really are trying to make themselves seem more and more like the human race. This is even more unsettling when you realise that they're all doing this just to get back at Earth, just so that they can conquer the planet. And for that reason, I give this story a solid 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, and have an incredible night, you beautiful people.